It is Friday, folks, and you guys who come here regularly know what that means. It means classic tabletop RPG time. Let's get to it. If you are new to the channel, I want to welcome you to RPG Elite. This is definitely the place, folks, where we put the RP back into RPG. And the way that we do that is by giving you tools, tips, real talk, like disturbing talk that we don't like to talk about in RPG culture, things that we like to tackle. Yeah, we talk about that stuff here. And also tutorials, which is really what we're going to do today. But before we do that, I want to turn your attention over to the community tab. This week we had our classic tabletop RPG image of the week. And we had some people trying to guess what this image was. And only 3 of you got it right, which is close to 16%. Not quite. Only 3 of you got it right. So kudos and much love to Howard Kingston, David Gatt, and Charles D. Wisdom, who got it right from the classic 1983 Victory Games RPG James Bond 007 in Her Majesty's Secret Service. Good job, guys. Thank you so much for participating. And hey, if you didn't get it this week, that's all right. You have next week. Got another one that I'm going to post on Monday. You'll have until Wednesday to get it because I like to get my stuff out a little early, a couple days early, and be posted and ready to go on Friday. So Monday, Tuesday, and a little bit of Wednesday is how long you'll have to get it right for next week. So make sure that you come back and look for it on the community tab on Monday. And hey, don't know how to get there? No problem. Just click on the link in the description below. It'll be in all of my videos from now on because I'm really getting some juice here going with the community tab. So go ahead, click on that link. Then just remember how to get there, or just get to my channel, click on the community tab and start digging in your classic tabletop RPGs and see if you can figure it out. You think you got some juice? I mean, 3 people is a lot of people to me. And it's too many people. We getting ready to go ham on y'all. Know what I mean? So be here next week. Now let's get started. Let's get into our mini series within a series with Gamma World 2nd edition. This is part 1 of a 2-part series because we're going to be getting deep. We're always getting deep into this. It's I, Robot in the post-apocalypse. Millions of robots were used in pre-Holocaust society. Though a large number were vaporized in the Holocaust, a significant number survived. Most are non-functional, having worn out or exhausted their power, but some, especially in installations, are still operating or only need someone to command them in order to become active again. These robots may aid or threaten PCs, just like any NPCs controlled by the GM in the same way. Though treated as NPCs, robots are actually a type of artifact and may be turned in for status points. If you're unfamiliar with status points, just go ahead and look at the video titled Community Status and Rank in this series. All robots have a complexity of G. A robot mode in 2nd edition Gamma World is the same as robot categories in 1st edition. Like 1st edition, they can be in 3 modes: programmed, wild, or controlled. It's suggested that you look at the 1st edition video on robots to familiarize yourself with the terms. The GM will be the only one who knows what mode a robot is in and the details that go along with that. As a general rule of thumb, the following is what you can expect in terms of functionality and mode, depending on where a robot is encountered. Robots found in installations will be functional 40% of the time and will have a 10% chance of being in wild mode. They have a 30% chance of being in controlled mode if they are found not to be in wild mode. If a strong controlling intelligence like a think tank is present, robots in wild mode will be controlled by it until they are released from their control. Robots found outside installation, which basically means found everywhere else, will be functional 10% of the time and will have a 30% chance of being in wild mode. They have a 10% chance of being in control mode if they are not in wild mode. Any ID shown to a robot affects its reaction to the characters. Most programmed or controlled robots will respond when shown an ID by waiting for the verbal orders of whomever shows it. Once shown, the ID doesn't need to be shown again. The robot will have imprinted the user's voice pattern and timbre as that of someone authorized to give it orders. If two or more authorized persons try to give it orders, the robot will follow the last orders given. The ID must be the proper stage before a robot will follow instructions from the owner of the ID. They will respond to the proper stage or higher ID and will never respond to lower stage ID. Some robots may respond only to special stage ID that's not listed here. The ID stages are numbered 1 through 5. Colored yellow or brown, this ID was used by ordinary citizens, which make it the most common found in almost all ruins. Usually colored blue, sometimes red and white, this ID was used by low-level military personnel, civil servants, and employees in some high-security industries. Colored gray, green, or white, this ID was used by scientific, technical, and medical personnel. They are very rare. Colored red or purple, this ID was used by law enforcement agents, civilian and military. These will never be available for sale except in the rarest of circumstances and can be found only in ruins or installations. Colored red and blue, this ID was used by civil authorities and military command personnel. Possessed only by top officials and high-grade officers, these are extremely rare, and it's like striking oil if one is found. The character type of the individual holding the ID also matters in terms of how a robot will respond. If it's from a pure strain human, they always respond appropriately. If from a humanoid type character, they must be human looking in order for it to work properly. If the ID stage is 4 or higher, robots will not accept it from a mutated animal, plant, or a non-human looking humanoid. This can change if the robot is somehow reprogrammed. There is a 30% chance a robot will accept a level 3 or lower stage ID from any one of these 3 PC types. To program or reprogram a robot requires that the PCs have access to a CI or a think tank. CIs, cybernetic installations, are building-sized biochemical computers which control an entire installation. If a controlled robot is encountered in an installation, it is probably a cybernetic installation. Only PCs with Stage 4 ID can communicate with a CI. Their programming will give them a certain type of personality per se. They will normally be eager to help any pure strain human who has the proper ID. They react negatively to grotesque humanoids and mutated animals. They pretty much ignore plants. Think tanks are room-sized biochemical brains which CIs protect. They are normally found in spaceports and secret military bases. Their main purpose is informational. Only PCs with stage 5 I.D.s can communicate with them. They usually react favorably to and try to help pure strain humans, but react negatively to other types. So just modify the reaction checks by +5 for pure strain humans and -5 for others trying to interact with a think tank. It should go without saying that if a PC does not have the proper ID, they can't communicate with a CI or think tank, and it will be impossible to reprogram the robot. However, if the proper ID is shown, they can program the robot to accept commands from certain PCs regardless of what kind they are, as well as to ignore or accept certain IDs. If a robot is being reprogrammed to perform activity radically different from that for which it was designed, converting an ecology bot to have security functions, for example, partial rebuilding may be necessary. It takes 1 to 3 days to rebuild a robot into something functionally different, but similar in shape and size. All CIs are equipped for this task, but think tanks are not. A rebuilt robot converted to a task for which it was not originally designed will perform differently from robots designed for that task. The details are left up to the GM and players to hash it out.
Do you want to destroy humans? Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
So there is part 1 of 2 parts. And the next time, God willing, what we're going to do is we're going to break down these descriptions, what they mean, so you know even how to design your own robots for Gamma World 2nd Edition, and also how to decipher all that descriptive stuff that they have in the book already, core book. All right, that's it for me. Simple this week. I'm in, I'm out, I gotta do my thing. Hey, if you like the video, go ahead and smash the like button, y'all. And if you like the content on the channel, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and come back here all the time. You wanna know something? I went to my analytics the other day, and I saw that over half of you are subscribed. Now, you don't know something. That's good. For a YouTube channel to have over half of the people who watch their videos subscribed, that is awesome. So I'm just gonna keep asking, tell your friends, tell them to come back, subscribe to the channel. We got a whole bunch of content, new content, all kinds of stuff that we've got planned for the rest of the year. That's gonna be it for me. I gotta go do my thing, Chicken Wing. Hey, got a game over the weekend? Happy gaming. But until next time, a brother is going to have to catch you on the flip. And God willing, I see you on Tuesday. Peace and hair grease.